Hey, rise and shine, everyone. Welcome to KARE 11 Plus. We appreciate you joining us. Jason and Alicia here with you on this Wednesday, this much warmer Wednesday.
It's slowly getting warm. John's running outside. It has been getting warmer as we speak throughout the morning. Slowly getting warm. 21, John. Is that 21?
21.
21. It says right there.
My favorite number in blackjack, baby. It is, what? I took that and went gambling, didn't I?
You sure did.
Well, it's a good number. Anyways, good movie, too. It is bare hands weather. It feels really good out here. 21 degrees, like we said. 37 degrees warmer right now than yesterday at this time. That's remarkable. 44 in St. Cloud. Now, you would think we'd be in the 30s or 40s, but that's just how unbelievably cold yesterday was. Coldest morning in 4 years yesterday. This feels great. 20 degrees out here right now, 25 in Ortonville. Starting to get a little more daylight here at this time. Still cloudy for the most part when I'm looking up. We do have a south wind. You have to have a south wind to warm up. So we had the breezy conditions yesterday. You could see them out here in the Rochester area. Those moved in, and you probably felt them yesterday. That got us here. I'm looking at a cold front right here. Bemidji, I Falls already coming in. It's not going to be the longest warm up, and you can already see the feels like showing that the temperature's dropping up here. -8 in Thief River Falls, -13 in International Falls, and 20 in St. Cloud. So it's actually a significant cold front that'll come through tonight, but it is way weaker. Significant is not extreme, right? It will be cold tonight, but we're talking about teens. We can handle this cold front here tonight. By tomorrow morning, probably be around 0. So yes, chilly start Thursday, but I think long term you're going to like the forecast. If you want warmth, we'll show you it in a little bit. Cece.
Good morning. Seeing this crash, this is in the Brooklyn Center area, Highway 252 southbound. This is just south of 70th Avenue. You see MnDOT crew blocking off this right lane. Drivers having to move over to these left 2 lanes because of this crash. There's a lot of slowing headed towards 694 or even farther south 94 into Minneapolis. So if you're taking this way, I wouldn't change your route right now, but I would just add some extra time to your commute. There are a few other crashes around the metro that are causing some backup, so I'll show you that when I see you next.
All right, Cece, thank you. As John mentioned, it's our first morning this week. Temperatures aren't starting in the negatives.
It's really nice and just in time for thousands heading to Shakopee for Hockey Day, Minnesota, and that is where we find Audrey Slapshot Russo live at Valley Fair this morning with all the action. There she is.
Yeah, how's this for a slap shot? Aim right here. Don't actually do that, please. It's one of just many fun little things that you can do here at Valley Fair. This is this year's host for Hockey Day Minnesota. We are out here. There's a warming tent immediately to my right, but I want to show you these little bins that you see set up in the parking lot. Those are going to be full of hot, blazing fires to keep warm. As you look over here, you see the ice rink. This is where the main attraction, the hockey, is going to be going on. Plus, because we're at Valley Fair for the entire 4-day event, folks are going to be able to ride a couple of rides. So really, there's just about anything that you'd want to do here in winter. Now, come along with me. I want to show you the inside of one of these warming tents. This event kicks off at 2:30 this afternoon, and there's going to be about 5 hockey games every single day. Now, say you don't want to watch the hockey games outside the entire time. They're going to be setting up an inflatable screen so that you can sit in here, maybe get a beverage. They're doing a green apple kiwi margarita that I would like to try. You can come in here, hang out, watch the games as they're happening. And then if you want to go back outside and sit at the ice rink, you can do that too. Really a lot to explore here. It's not just about getting the hockey community together, but it's about showing what Shakopee has to offer. Now, this event is held in a different city every single year, and so with Shakopee hosting it this year, of course, they wanted to try to highlight Valley Fair as well. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking to one of the organizers for Hockey Day Minnesota, coming up in about a half hour, because they're expecting a lot of people. 15,000 people will descend upon this park in the next 4 days. So again, it all kicks off at 2:30. We've got more details coming up. Jason, Alicia.
It is going to be quite the time, and you couldn't ask for better weather.
Right.
Which is
I love that it's in Shakopee, too. They have the space. Valley Fair's not open right now. Exactly. It works.
Audrey Slapshot Russo, thank you so much. We're also just hours away from the start of the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships. Crews have been busy out on Lake Nokomis getting the rinks ready. Over 300 teams are here to play in the tournament, now in its 20th year. It kicks off tonight with youth nights, then tournament play gets underway tomorrow. Last year, as you remember, the championships had to be cut short because of warm weather and slushy ice, but That won't be a problem this year.
All right, 8:05 on KARE 11 Plus. Right now, we're waiting to hear from Minneapolis police about an investigation in the Whittier neighborhood from overnight. This was the scene at Pillsbury Avenue and West 29th Street just after 11 last night. You see a few squad cars with police tape. Right now, we're not sure what happened, but as soon as we learn anything new, we, of course, will update you.
Right now in Minneapolis, police are working to determine if two deadly shootings that happened a mile apart and within 15 minutes of each other are related. The first incident happened around 9 Monday night on 3rd Avenue South, about a block off of 35W in the Central neighborhood. Police say a man in his 20s was shot and later died at the hospital. Police say they were called further south to an alley on Harriet Avenue after receiving reports of a body that had been dumped from a car. When they arrived, they say they found a man who had been shot multiple times and later died. So far, no one's been arrested in either shooting.
A tragic update to a story we've been following for the last week. A pizza delivery driver who went missing in Apple Valley has died. St. Paul police say Xu Zhang returned home yesterday and died by suicide in the afternoon during a mental health crisis. Zhang's family reported him missing a week ago while making deliveries. Clues led investigators across the metro and all the way to Superior, Wisconsin. If you or someone you know is in crisis, help is out there. Trained professionals are available 24/7 by calling or texting the number 988.
Time now 8:06 over at the state capitol. While their DFL colleagues continue to boycott the start of the session, today House Republicans plan to return to the floor. And this morning, we're getting a closer look at their new proposal to prevent fraud of public agencies. For years, Minnesota has been plagued by high-profile cases, including Feeding Our Future, which have cost taxpayers millions. The GOP's plan has some crossover with ideas Governor Walz proposed just a few weeks ago. It includes stronger reporting requirements, better detection systems for legislators, and a new Office of Inspector General to investigate fraud.
I welcome the fact that the governor has acknowledged this, but as legislators, we have to take our own due diligence and our own steps to do this, and this is a great way to do so.
Right now, Democrats are suing to stop the GOP from meeting, but in the past, they've expressed a willingness to tackle the fraud problem. Also happening today, the pro-life organization Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life will hold its annual March for Life at the state capitol mall. It happens each year on this day, which is the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, the landmark ruling recognizing the constitutional right to abortion. After nearly 50 years, the Supreme Court overturned it back in June of 2022, but Minnesota has since passed a law guaranteeing the right to abortion access. Today's march begins at noon.
Right now, President Donald Trump is moving swiftly to deliver on some of his top promises in the early days of his administration. Now, starting today, he's placing all federal DEI employees on paid leave. And on his first full day in office, Trump officially delayed the U.S. ban on TikTok for 75 days. He also announced a $500 billion investment into artificial intelligence infrastructure. And amid backlash, the president is defending his decision to pardon all January 6th defendants.
I'm Heidi Wigdahl. President Trump made good on his promise to pardon January 6 rioters. Trump approved pardons for more than 1,500 people charged in the insurrection and commuted the sentences of 14 of his supporters. It comes more than 4 years after his supporters stormed the Capitol over the 2020 election results. Among those pardoned include 15 Minnesotans. About half of them had been convicted and sentenced. It includes a Lindstrom family, Father Robert Westbury, sons Jonah and Isaac Westbury, and Aaron James, who are awaiting trial. The family's attorney told us, quote, "They were completely innocent. They should have never been charged," and said the family's happy this case is over.
This morning, we're learning 28 people are now confirmed dead in the California wildfires. This as strong winds continue to threaten the area. CAL FIRE said 3 new fires started yesterday in San Diego County. 2 of them have been stopped already. The Lilac Fire, which is burning north of the city of San Diego, is about 50% contained right now. Further north, some residents in the devastated Pacific Palisades neighborhood are being let back into their homes for the first time since evacuating. The Palisades fire has entered its 3rd week of burning and is just over 60% contained right now. But there is another risk on the horizon, unfortunately, with potential rain in the forecast this weekend that could cause mudslides and flooding. They cannot catch a break there.
No. This morning, millions of Americans are digging out of the snow. And for the first time in their lives after a rare winter storm hit the Gulf Coast in the southeast, it's bringing some delight to people who've never seen snow before.
Reporting live from Florida.
Just gotta laugh about it, right?
yeah,
That's
you
what
got-
we do here.
So you don't cry.
Right. Most people escape to Florida in the winter to get away from all this. But as you can see from video in Pensacola, the roads absolutely covered. The Sunshine State setting an all-time snowfall record. Now down in Texas, the beaches in Galveston looking more like a winter wonderland. Not white sand there,
No,
white snow.
not at all. That's so weird.
And weeks before the Super Bowl, the Superdome is covered in snow. This is in New Orleans. Now parts of Georgia, Texas, and Mississippi and southern Alabama are covered in snow too. It's bizarre.
I can't express how weird that is. My first market was in the Panhandle, and at the coldest it ever got while I was there, maybe 55.
Really?
Yeah.
And people freak out at 55.
And people freak out, Ugg boots and coats and the whole thing. The fact that 6 inches of snow fell in Pensacola is insane to me,
Kind of
John.
jealous.
A little bit, not gonna lie.
All time. This is crazy. I mean, you said it's an all-timer. I've been talking with my sister down there now. She's from Minnesota, and she's probably the only person that has jackets. She said, just coats. You know, they don't even have real winter coats. It's wild. I was talking to Nicole about, can you imagine if we go out of New Orleans for a lot of our cruises? Can you imagine getting on a cruise this week? Like, oh, the first day is going to be 20. Okay. It's insane. All right. Well, here's the coldest temperature in the past 4 years. How do you do something remarkable like we're seeing in the South? Well, there better be some crazy cold air. That's why our temperature of minus 19 is part of this. We're part of it, part of the big snowstorm. You got to go back to 2020, 2021. We're talking about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, to where we've seen temperatures that cold. So it makes sense that the coldest temperature in 5 years drove that system all the way to the beach. We are way warmer right now, 37 in the Twin Cities, 43 in Brainerd. This is not the temperature, that's how much warmer we are right now. This is the temperature, 20. It's never felt so good. I just, like right now my hands are out. Yesterday they would have fallen off if I would have had them out. And it just feels awesome. I will definitely be in shorts and a t-shirt later on today. Picking up the kids, it just doesn't matter. 4, 9 in Thief River Falls, it is gonna cool down tonight. So by the time we get to this evening, we're gonna kick in a northwest wind. And that's why we always look at Moorhead and Thief River Falls. So Moorhead and Thief River Falls has the colder air showing up. Now this one's coming in from the north and northwest this time, and it's gonna slide in tonight. Until then, we'll have a west wind and we'll stay pretty warm. We're gonna stay in the 20s and we might break our average again, so we'll see temperatures warming above average. This January's been way below average, I don't have to tell you that. So a day like this is warranted. So here's our feels like, 20, minus 9, minus 13. So this is what I'm expecting tomorrow morning, just to gear up for it. Minus 9, minus 13. So tomorrow morning, it's gonna be cold. Definitely gonna be a cold start. And then we'll start the warming trend really Saturday. And we'll kind of see another day like this for the weekend. Temperatures right now, end of the afternoon, 29, northwest wind kicking in here at 19, then 13. So we will fall. Now with the cold front, there will be a chance for some flakes to fly. 2 o'clock, this is the front coming in. You see a little bit of snow try to come through here. I wouldn't be surprised. You're always going to cool down in this. Cool down. If you cool down, you're going to see some flurries when your temperature's around the middle 20s. And we talk about that a lot. Cloudy skies, overcast skies always have flurries. They will today. They will on Friday. 11 tomorrow. Not a bad day. Thursday, actually the perfect temp. I always thought was 10 to play hockey in because if you know, hockey is a hardest sport in my opinion to play, and you sweat buckets. So 10 at least keeps people a little bit cool. Saturday and Sunday looks like a nice weekend to be outside of the middle 20s.
It's going to be great. Perfect weather for it for sure. Thanks, John. Hey, ahead here on Sunrise, a game-changing new treatment for depression.
In 4 minutes, what we know about the newly approved nasal spray.
Plus, the stands packed at a hockey game in Lakeville to honor a longtime supporter no longer in the crowd.
Welcome back, everyone. We are live from Valley Fair this morning for Hockey Day Minnesota. Woo, that ice is looking good. After a few days of extreme cold, the temperatures are finally warm enough for tonight's kickoff, so people won't be completely uncomfortable out there. Audrey has been out there all morning. We're going to check in with her one more time. That's coming up at 8:33.
I watch the Zamboni go back and forth. It's oddly satisfying to see the ice clean. Love it. All right, 8:16 on KARE 11+. New this morning, Defense Secretary nominee and Minnesota native Pete Hegseth is facing new allegations. His former sister-in-law filing an affidavit hoping to convince senators not to confirm him. In an affidavit, Danielle Hegseth accuses the former Fox News host of being abusive toward his second wife, Samantha, and says he caused her to fear for her safety. Danielle describes allegations of volatile and threatening conduct by Hegseth. However, she admits that she never witnessed any physical abuse. Hegseth's nomination advanced to the full Senate, and a vote could happen this week. This morning, a renewed push to protect northern Minnesota's Iron and the Boundary Waters canoe area. On the campaign trail, President Trump promised to reverse a 20-year ban on mining near the Boundary Waters as soon as possible. Twin Metals has wanted to mine on the federal land in Superior National Forest. Their plans were put on hold after the Biden administration canceled its leases over environmental concerns. While Trump does want to lift that ban, experts say a mining decision comes down to money.
Chugging along on the assumption that these companies were ready to go, and they might not be. You know, it's a volatile marketplace. President or a Congress aren't the ones to declare that the mine will open. It is ultimately private industry.
In the last 24 hours, Minnesota Representative Betty McCollum reintroduced legislation to permanently protect the Boundary Waters from copper mining. The legislation has several co-sponsors, but its support in a Republican-controlled Congress is not clear. This morning, there's a new treatment that could be a game changer for the millions of American adults dealing with depression. In the last 24 hours, the FDA approved a nasal spray meant for adults suffering from major depressive disorder. The spray, called Spravato, is from Johnson & Johnson. It can help in cases where other antidepressants have done little to nothing to improve symptoms. In a trial, Spravato improved symptoms about 24 hours after treatment, and it lasted for a month.
According to the Minnesota Ovarian Cancer Alliance, about 400 women are diagnosed with ovarian cancer in Minnesota every year. Right now, there is no reliable test to detect the disease. In the last 12 hours at a Metro High School hockey game, crowded stands and loud cheers, all in support and in memory of one fan who's not there. Raya Katene takes us to Lakeville, where the two teams played for the same cause.
Lakeville's Hossey Arena is packed with hockey fans. But one familiar face is missing from the stands.
She usually came to all my games.
Jack Starfield's biggest fan was his mom, Katie.
She's probably one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet, so that's where I got my competitiveness from.
A competitor, avid athlete, and fighter at heart, Katie's biggest battle was with ovarian cancer.
It really literally came out of nowhere.
Her husband, Glenn, says Katie was diagnosed in 2021.
She threw everything at it, so it was a real long, hard battle.
3 months ago, Katie passed away at 48 years old.
All right, boys, you have a good game, all right?
An honorary puck drop by Katie's family kicked off the battle between Lakeville South and Apple Valley Burnsville. But at this game, everyone is on the same team when it comes to the fight against ovarian cancer.
Her community does not surprise me.
Kathleen Gavin leads the Minnesota Ovarian Cancer Alliance, a group Katie became involved with after her diagnosis.
All donations that are raised here at the game tonight will help the Minnesota Ovarian Cancer Alliance support people who are affected by the disease and fund much needed research.
Most women don't know a lot about ovarian cancer, and unfortunately there is no early detection test.
She was so strong.
Maria Johnson.
We missed her.
Hopes her sister's story will help others who are fighting their own battles.
Sister of a warrior. Yeah, I'm really proud of her courageous fight.
And what better way to honor Katie than in a place she loved so much?
I mean, this is where she lived, the whole family.
It's super nice to see everybody in the stands.
Katie may no longer be in the stands, but she will always have a place in this arena. In Lakeville, Raya Katene, KARE 11 News.
Great way to honor their mom. The fact that there's it's only been 3 months and they're doing all of this, it's great.
Yeah, I know she's looking down and smiling, and man, hopefully everything goes off without a hitch.
Yes,
that tournament.
cancer sucks. All right, 8:21 on KARE 11 Plus. Looks to CC busy on the roads.
So busy. There's another crash that popped up in Blaine, Highway 10 eastbound near Highway 65. You can see it's off in this grassy area, but there's a tow truck that just got there a couple minutes ago, so things are kind of slowing down as this situation clears out. I wouldn't change my route headed toward Moundsview at this point, just adding a few extra minutes, but you will experience slowing headed toward that area. Hey, John.
Hey, Cece. Well, yeah, one thing we really haven't had to contend with is snow. And we're on pace for the driest snow or snowless winter of all time. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because we are still in a cold winter, and theoretically, you should have a good chance to get some snow. We just haven't got it yet. Obviously, it wants to snow on the beach over us. So it's a good reminder on, snow has real little correlation with temperatures. It just does. Now we're at 9.8 and 26.5. Obviously a good reminder here, it's been well below average in January. Actually 5 degrees below average per day on average. That's a lot. And you're looking at St. Cloud, well below it, but 13. And then you go up to Duluth. Okay, they've had 22. That's respectable, but they're still down about 2 feet. Everybody's down about at least a foot. So temperatures have warmed up. The problem is, okay, get a nice warm up. Can we get some snow? No, because the snowstorm in the south blocks the moisture from getting up here. So first thing I do when I go to an elementary school class and I teach kids about weather, I say, do you know where these clouds are from? The ocean. If you don't have ocean moisture, you have nothing. So all of your moisture, whether it comes from the Pacific or whether it comes from, it's accessing moisture from the ocean. Well, if you want a snowstorm, you got to pump the moisture in with the south wind connected to Minneapolis all the way to the Gulf. How are you going to do that when there's a snowstorm way to your south? You're not. So there was your explanation on KARE 11 Plus, because I probably didn't have time to rant on that on the regular show, on why we don't have snow. Because a lot of times when you warm up, you get it. 44 degrees warmer right now than yesterday at this time. 20 degrees in St. Cloud, 20 degrees. So here's our actual temp. So we're 40 degrees warmer, we're at 20. That just shows you how cold we were yesterday. So you already see this cold front sneaking in here. You see that north wind, the shift. So anything under that is warm. And if you can warm up and then have the cold front come through, then you're already warmed up. So I think that's what we're gonna do here in the metro. But you're seeing this already change. So Brainerd, enjoy the next 2 hours through noon because you'll be falling in the afternoon. St. Cloud, late afternoon. Twin Cities will be the evening. Already a cold day. International Falls didn't really get the warm up today. 13 below, I guess, is better than 50 below. That's not true. They did warm up. 40 degrees warmer to 13 below. Can you imagine telling someone that? Yeah, they warmed up 40 degrees. It was 13 below this morning. All right, 23 degrees by 10 as we go into the 2 p.m. hour. Could we hit the upper 20s, but it'll quickly fall behind that as the winds shift out of the northwest. So there's that front. It will bring some light flurries. It's not that we can't have flurries and light snow, but you can't have real big snow and plowable snow without that moisture from the Gulf. So that'll pass, and yes, flurries through the afternoon. Don't be surprised if you get a little patch of snow or even a snow shower, but it'll be less than half an inch. Tomorrow, 11 degrees, 9 in Brainerd. It's a cold day tomorrow. Again, everybody's going to be out there for hockey, playing hockey tomorrow. It's a good day. It's a chilly day. Bundle up, dress appropriately. We don't have any warnings or advisories out there for you. Just a cold one, and then the weekend. Into the 20s we go, and how about 30s next week?
827, welcome back and Merry Christmas, everyone. As we wait for a true Minnesota snow to hit us here, millions down south are seeing the most snow they've ever seen in their whole lives. This man captured skiing down Bourbon Street in New Orleans in the French Quarter. There are a few inches dropping in Louisiana. I think that's maybe like an inch, a half an inch. It's not much, but it's enough for those folks down there. Houston essentially shut down from their dusting. First responders taking advantage of that. You can see here having a snowball fight in the parking lot there. Man, people don't know how to act with the snow
That's
coming
great.
down.
I love the child comes out of everybody when it snows, especially
Yeah.
if you're someone that maybe has lived there forever and has never seen snow for the first time.
That's happening to a lot of people down in Florida. A friend of mine sent me a picture of her kids, and they're just loving it.
Kids
down there.
love it.
They're having a snow day in Florida.
Well,
of all
they
places.
canceled school, and hopefully folks got work off so
Yeah.
they can just enjoy it because it's going to melt, John.
Right.
The ground is warm and
Right. I mean, it is the beach, right? I mean, the guy is skiing. He needs some lessons out there, but I'm proud that he got out there, right? I just can't imagine it. No, I even heard that half of the snow was already melted, even though it's below freezing. I mean, the ground's, 60 degrees? 27 today, 11 degrees tomorrow. So we will drop. It's a chilly day, but again, it's a chilly January day. Seasonal weekend, actually going to be a really nice weekend. And then next week, I do think some 30s will show up. We don't have a deep snowpack, so that allows us, we'll probably get some fog, but hopefully not too much fog when we break freezing, as we'll be in the middle 30s for a couple days. CC.
Slowing is starting to ease across the metro, but you may want to add a few extra minutes still if you're taking 394, 494, even Highway 62 there. I'll show you a few more crashes that I'm seeing across the metro when I see you next. Alicia.
Thank you, Cece. We'll update this morning on cell phone use at St. Paul Public Schools.
The new policy the board is announcing in about 10 minutes.
And Hockey Day Minnesota kicking off tonight. Look at folks are on the ice already. This is a live look in Shakopee. Audrey is there. Audrey Slapshot Russo. Yeah, maybe? She didn't fall. That's good. We're going to check in with her in a little bit. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on KARE 11 Plus. Alicia Lewis alongside Jason Hackett on the first morning where we don't have to say a KARE 11 weather impact alert day.
It feels nice not to say that for once. Stepping outside this morning, I was very surprised with myself.
You didn't get slapped by Mother Nature?
No, I said to myself, man, this is pretty nice. Very surprising.
Felt good.
Thank you for that sound effect.
Yep, Mother Nature slap.
It's like a frozen baseball bat to the schnoz. It just doesn't feel good. But today, I can breathe. Yesterday I tried to do one of those because I talk too much and I need to do good breathing in between my speeches and whatever I'm doing. And yesterday and then coughed a bunch and actually literally choked. So I'm happy that it's not that way today. 37 degrees warmer right now, 44 degrees warmer than yesterday. I mean, this is insanely warm compared to yesterday at this time. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's nice to have my hands back. It's very comfortable out here. 20 degrees, 20 in St. Cloud. I'm not going to sit here and say it's warm. You still need a coat, whatever. But we're getting there. 4 in International Falls, 9 in Thief River Falls. So yesterday was officially the coldest day of the year and that we've seen in 5 years. But not only that, yesterday itself is historically the coldest day of the year. So now we've taken one step out of the basement. Okay, we can't run out of the basement. We still got to get through February. But yes, we have now entered warming, if that makes sense. So we've got the northwest wind here. I will tell you, it's going to cool down here tonight. 17 mile per hour wind out of the north in Thief River Falls. That just tells me that tonight's going to be cold. And I can see that now. 13 below, 10 below. We're still at 20. That feels like the wind chill, 20 degrees, but that cool down is coming. We'll take a look at that. Plus, we're going to take a trip. I'll do a little in-depth dive on the snow in Florida right now. Guys.
Hey there, good morning. Seeing a stalled vehicle here. This is a 35E northbound at the X-ramp to Cayuga Street. It's blocking one of the left turn lanes. So it shouldn't impact you if you take this ramp. You can still turn, as I've seen vehicles doing all morning. And a tow truck is there, so hopefully things clear soon. When I see you next, we're going to go up to Highway 10 in Blaine where there's a crash. I'm going to give you the progress about that. Stick around.
All right, Cece, thank you for that update. After days of dangerously cold temperatures, we're finally seeing relief across the region.
That's nice. Yeah, the warm-up hitting as hundreds of hockey players. Actually, thousands are across the state today going to hit the ice for Hockey Day Minnesota. But in Shakopee, Hockey Day Minnesota is kicking off at Valley Fair, and that is where we find Audrey back on the ice this morning. Love to see it, Audrey.
Yeah, 15,000 people to be exact are expected. I'm told this could be one of the biggest Hockey Day Minnesotas in the entire franchise, the event, whatever you want to call it, its history. This could be the biggest one out here at Valley Fair. Now, I'm joined by a board member, Michelle Brislin. Michelle, tell me just a little bit about some of the planning that went into this event.
Oh, yes. Well, thanks for being here with us. We are so excited. Today is our big kickoff, and it's been months and months and months of planning. It takes a lot of people to pull off an event this big because not that long ago, this was just a parking lot. And now we have a rink and bleachers, fire pits, warming house. We have everything. So it has been a local organizing committee here in Shakopee. So those of us who are on this board of directors, we've been meeting for a couple years now and planning every last detail.
And this is all volunteer run. So when people come here today, everybody that you see walking around doing logistics is a volunteer.
Oh yeah, if you see someone walking around in a huge parka like this, we have been volunteering for the last couple of years, and we'll be on site all over the hockey village, here to answer questions, solve problems, and just to ensure everyone's having fun.
And this, the gates today open at 2:30.
Yeah.
Parking starts at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Every single day when people come, they can expect how many hockey games?
Oh gosh, we're having probably between 4 and 5 hockey games a day. In total, we have 24 youth games, 11 high school games, a D1 collegiate game, and then an alumni game. That's Gophers alumni versus all the other NCAA teams, and it's just going to be a blast.
And of course, the setting here at Valley Fair, we've got food, we've got music, we've got rides that are going to be open.
Yes, Valley Fair has been the best partner. They have been awesome as our venue partner. They are opening up the park so people can go in, have a Valley Fair experience, and sounds like there'll be 4 to 5 rides that'll be actually running for people to enjoy. And this is the first time the park's ever been open in the winter, so pretty
Just
cool.
in case hockey's not thrilling enough for
Exactly.
you. You throw a little bit of a merry-go-round ride in there.
Exactly.
I don't think the Wild thing is one of the ones that's open, but how cool would it be if it was?
I would ride that if it was. So well, I'll tell Valley Fair that.
Michelle, thank you so much for your time. Jason and Alicia, again, a Hockey Day Minnesota Shakopee edition starts at 2:30 today. And by the way, it was not me out on the ice. I heard you asking that. I am just lucky that I have stayed on my own 2 feet as I've been walking on the ice this morning.
Okay, so next Hockey Day Minnesota, you're going to lace up those skates to get out on the ice, right?
Yes, next year.
Give it a shot or knock my teeth out.
Also, her coat is amazing, by the way.
Yes,
Let
tell
her know.
Michelle she has
That's
a wonderful
great
coat. Yes.
The anchors love your coat. Jason and Alicia are obsessed with it. Yeah, no, this coat is the real deal. You got to be, suited up for winter.
Totally.
If you're going to be a volunteer at this event.
Oh,
Super
man.
warm.
Super warm.
I bet. I love it. Got to stay warm out there. All right, Audrey, thank you so much. We appreciate
thank you.
you.
And Michelle, too. Sweet. All right, hey, more than 300 teams are going to be on Lake Nokomis for the start of the Pond Hockey Championships. And it's 20th year. Tonight's youth night, so you get to see the mini mites. They're so cute. The actual tournament tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Great weather for it.
Well, right now, a generational event is unfolding across the South. Take a look at this. In the last 24 hours, record-breaking snow fell from Texas to South Carolina. This is brand new video from Myrtle Beach overnight as snow covers the sand along the coast. Surf's up.
Surf's up.
And there's snow falling.
Nothing like a cold margarita on the beaches there.
Can you imagine? There are people that are vacationing there right now.
To escape the cold. They're probably coming from North Dakota.
Right.
going
They're
to
like,
Myrtle
I
Beach.
can't wait to go to Panama City Beach. Oops. Like, what? Yeah, they have more snow than we do right now. It's I've never seen this before. I just have definitely never seen this. Now behind this, they've got extreme cold warnings out here in Houston. Their temperatures are in the 20s, all right? This is vacationing spots. Galveston, Mobile, Panama City. 6 inches of snow fell in Panama City Beach. Winter storm warnings are still out for Jacksonville. Looks like most of the snow, actually, I'm waiting to see what some totals come in here, but 8 inches was kind of the high side. Going out to Charleston, looks like just the edge of this is about to leave. You can see out here on the eastern side there, getting out towards North Carolina. Still some snow, but they're pretty much wrapping things up here as we speak. This is the snowpack. I think they've overdone it a little bit. I'm waiting to see, like I said, what actually fell there. This is just, it updates on how much snow is on the ground. A lot of this has already been melting back behind it, but there's still snowpack. Again, 6 to 8 inches of snow has fallen all the way down into Florida. The whole panhandle of Florida, the entire thing, is 100% packed in with snow as we speak. So a wild thing that you might not ever see something like this again. So
time. We're going to talk about it for a long time for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of like our blizzard, our Halloween blizzard.
This is going to be their Halloween
blizzard. That's their Halloween blizzard.
When did that happen?
97.
98, 93. I thought. 98.
95?
1998 Halloween blizzard. Come on. No. Don't you have a tattoo of it, John?
Come on. Yeah, 91. I can't tell you where the tattoo is.
It's 98.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God. All right, here on KARE 11 Plus, let's talk about news coming from the state capitol this morning. Tomorrow, the state Supreme Court is going to hear arguments over a quorum lawsuit. So House Democrats, they filed it, saying there's not enough members right now and it's illegal to conduct any business. And that's one reason meaningful work is not getting done right now at the Capitol. A special election will also be pushed back until mid-March, potentially prolonging the House DFL's boycott of the Republicans' temporary control. Both parties in that chamber have yet to come up with a power-sharing agreement.
Even though you see a lot of nastiness and division right now, I hold out hope that they'll be able to move past that when the time comes, because we need that to happen in some manner so that we can complete the work of the people.
Their biggest priority is passing a budget, and if they can't come to an agreement, risk a special session come May and a possible shutdown in July. And this morning, early voting begins for the Minnesota Senate District 60's special election. Republican Abigail Walters and Democrat Doran Clark looking to fill the spot following the death of DFL Senator Kerry Dietzick last month. Senate District 60 covers parts of Northeast Minneapolis, the Cedar Riverside neighborhood, and the area around the U. You can find your polling place right now at KARE11.com.
Right now, the Trump administration is gearing up for one of its first legal battles as Minnesota, Wisconsin, and 22 other states sue to stop his executive order ending birthright citizenship. A federal judge in Seattle will hear the first challenge starting tomorrow. The suits argue the order violates the Constitution's 14th Amendment. Birthright citizenship means anyone born on U.S. soil is an American citizen, even if their parents are undocumented. Trump's order would apply to future children born to mothers in the U.S. unlawfully or temporarily. For now, it is set to take effect on February 19th. And at least 10 of Trump's executive orders so far involve immigration, and that has immigrant communities here in Minnesota bracing for the unknown. The threat of mass deportations is looming large in cities nationwide, and even if you're not an immigrant, advocates say you'll notice changes.
Being afraid to drive or take their kids to school, or being afraid to report crimes that happen to them to the police. Immigrants are part of the fabric of who we are, and I'm afraid that the way that he is approaching this will really change how people, how our communities interact with each other.
Some of the other executive orders Trump signed include halting refugee admissions into the United States, ending the CBP-1 program, and reinstating the Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers.
We have new details this morning on a Twin Cities substitute teacher accused of reenacting George Floyd's death in a Woodbury High School classroom. Prosecutors have now determined no charges will be filed in this case. The teacher was also a police officer in Prescott, Wisconsin. He resigned from that job 1 month after the classroom incident.
Right now, schools across the state are working to implement cell phone policies. It's part of a new state law giving them a deadline of this spring. At last night's school board meeting, St. Paul Public Schools gave an update on their proposed district-wide policy. It would prohibit cell phone use during school hours. The district would give high schools the option to develop a plan with staff, parents, and students to allow phone use outside of class. But Director Yusuf Carrillo says the objective is to restrict more over time.
This is one thing that, if they're not fully bought in and interested, they may just continue the practices of the past, call it a policy, review it annually, but nothing really changes.
Students told the district they appreciate clear rules, but are worried about limited communication with their parents. The board is expected to vote on the policy next month.
The Vikings are locking down head coach Kevin O'Connell for the next several years. The move comes as a no-brainer, really, after our 14-win season that has him in talks for Coach of the Year. Reggie Wilson has details.
Remember all that chatter a couple weeks back about teams being interested in trading for Kevin O'Connell? He quickly dismissed it and affirmed that Minnesota is where he wants to be. The Vikings let him know the feeling is mutual, inking their head coach to a multi-year contract extension. O'Connell is 34-17 with the Vikes and is the first head coach in team history with multiple 13-win seasons. That's 2 in his 3 years in Minnesota. For the guy who was brought here after winning a Super Bowl with the Rams, postseason success is the next step in his journey with the Vikings. But the Wolves believe he's the man to lead them there. O'Connell said he's honored to continue as head coach and wants to build on the high standard they've set.
I love it. Now that KOC's contract, though, is in the book, it's signed, sealed, delivered. The Vikings have begun extension talks with general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, which that's great. They have a great working relationship. It's fun to watch the draft and them work together.
Yeah, it's amazing. The team they've built in just 3 years together. I mean, to have 2 13-plus win seasons, I mean, they almost made it. We
choked at the end.
We don't want to talk about this here, but I mean,
that's fine. We choked.
The fact that they've done so much in such short time is great and bodes well for the future. All they need to do is figure out what is going to happen at quarterback.
I would like a chance to win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And, I think the Super Bowl comes with a little luck. Look at Lamar. Lamar Jackson, best player in the whole universe. Dude drops a pass going to the end zone, that's it. You lose, and then everyone blames Lamar.
You had to bring it up again, huh?
Well, he's not watching, but
Lamar Jackson's not watching, really.
Yeah, well, I hope so. He won me. No, he didn't win. I was in first place, a couple fantasy leagues. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, he may be vacationing here on the offseason.
Sure, well, you might as well. So I don't know. I'm proud of the Vikes to do this. I'm excited about the future. And I was worried about him leaving, so this is great. 44 degrees warmer right now, 41 in Brainerd. This is not the temperature. This is how much warmer it is right now than yesterday at this time. Now, as you look at the temps, 20 degrees in the Twin Cities, 20 degrees in St. Cloud, 4 in I Falls, 9 in Thief River Falls. It is cooling down up there, and you can see that with the north wind. North wind starting to pick back up. So are we going to get hit with this cold front? Yeah, absolutely. Whatever happens at Thief River Falls and Moorhead, we get. So that will happen this evening and tonight. But for now, enjoy the lighter winds before they pick back up as we head into the nighttime hours. And you can see the feels like is already literally dropping as we're on air. -10 and -14. This will be us tomorrow morning. We'll be at about -10 if I had to guess. Maybe -15. I have us at -10 to 15 in the morning. Regardless, it's still not as cold as 35 below zero, but yeah, it's going to be cold. Mid-20s to upper 20s today. Cooling down tonight. Northwest winds kick in. We'll be at 13 degrees by 8 p.m. 2 degrees for a low. Wind chills at -10. 11 tomorrow afternoon, not too bad. 22, couple of seasonally cool days, and then actually going above average into next week, and I've got 35 on Tuesday.
All right, Arden Hills drivers, there's a crash, 35W southbound, not too far from County Road at 96. You see itself on the right shoulder. It shouldn't impact your drive towards 694, but as you turn this corner, you may have to merge left. Just a heads up before you head out the door.
UCC. Also, I should say, it was the 91 Halloween blizzard. Take away my Minnesota license and my...
She thought it was 98.
I screwed up.
It's fine.
My bad.
It was a long time ago.
It was.
If
I was joking.
If you have Netflix, stick around. Don't give away the game, Cece. The streaming service is raising its prices once again.
At 8:49, we're going to tell you how much you could be paying. That's coming up.
But first, time is winding down for Americans to get a real ID. No more of those fake IDs. The steps you need to take to update your license coming up in just 2 minutes.
Oh, I should have stuck with that. It was a joke. All right, welcome back. Well, in less than 4 months, adults in the U.S. will need to have one of these to travel. It's a real ID, as shown here with the yellow star on top. The deadline to get one, it's coming up in May and comes after multiple delays with the real ID. So here's more of what you need to know.
After years of delays, the deadline for getting a real ID is set. To board a domestic flight after May 7th, a regular driver's license won't work.
Do you have your real ID?
I do not, but I do need to get one due to flying international and as well in the United States.
Let's see what you
I
got
don't think
here.
it's real yet.
I don't see a star. You're supposed
No.
to have...
Starting May 7th, the Transportation Security Administration says you'll need a real ID compliant driver's license or state issued ID to board a domestic flight or enter certain federal buildings.
And is very important from a security perspective. So, the deadline had been extended as a result, certainly of the pandemic and some of the impacts that had on adoption, but it is being implemented this May.
To apply for a real ID, you'll need to document your name, date of birth, social security number, and 2 proofs of address. TSA.gov has more info. Real ID will only be required for travelers 18 and over. Ron Minikis already has his real ID, but expects a rush for appointments soon.
I assume so. If there's a deadline, people wait till the deadline.
Continuing to get the word out to residents about this important requirement that's taking effect on May 7th so that travelers are ready.
Now, as of January 1st, just over 39% of Minnesotans have a real ID. The only way to get one is in person. You're going to have to go to your local DMV office to get it done. Or if you're a member of AAA, some branches are also offering that service. But Jason, I'm pretty sure if you have a passport,
yes,
that works too.
If you have a passport, you can certainly travel. I think if you're going to federal buildings, though, unless you have your passport on you,
right,
you're going to need that real ID. But passport will work at the airport. Speaking of travel, soon you'll be able to book a JetBlue flight online through your Venmo account. JetBlue says this is a first for airlines. The payment option will be available in the coming months on their mobile app. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, bad news from Netflix. The streaming giant says it's raising prices for subscribers in the U.S. and Canada once again. This announcement comes after announcing its biggest jump ever in subscribers. Now the standard plan without ads will rise by $250, going from $15.49 to $17.99 a month. And for the first time, Netflix is raising prices on its ad-supported plan from $6.99 to $7.99. So they have a record number of new subscribers, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, let's charge more."
Well,
They're getting bigger names too. They're getting big actors to be in series now.
Yeah, I guess. But
Gotta pay them.
Man, you're just really just raking the consumer over the coals here.
They have to. They got to make money for the investors, right?
Yeah.
I should have invested the day it tanked a few years ago. It was like 120
When
bucks.
they stopped sending out DVDs.
Yep. It's $1,000 today as a share. And the more that stock price goes up, the more they're going to charge me and you.
Think of all the companies back, 20 years ago that we could have
That we
invested
should have invested
between
in.
Uber and Netflix.
Amazon.
and
Remember when Amazon just sold books?
Yeah, and now it's a whole.
Darn.
We depend
Nah,
on
that's
it.
like long. I think this Netflix thing tanked like a year ago. It's gone up like 600% this year.
They figured it out.
Yeah, man. I don't
No.
want to pay anymore. I am salty about it all, if I'm being honest with you. Because I used to have DirecTV and pay one thing and have
I know.
all my
Exactly.
channels.
All the channels,
And
everything
then
you wanted.
everyone promised me something was better.
You know what's awful that Netflix does too? So my cousin logged into my account and I thought I had it, and it still lets you look at what's available, but you can't watch anything. It'll say like, sorry. I'm like,
Such teases.
I'm not paying.
I did share my YouTube. Should I not admit these things?
No, you can admit it.
All right, great.
They might come
yeah.
after you.
Nobody's watching.
I did.
YouTube TV.
Oh, anyways, I did share my account and let me share it
Yeah.
locally. Now you can't share too many, and I'm not like trying to scam the system, but somebody wanted to watch a Vikings game, so I'd let
Yeah,
them.
you can share
and I
it.
could still watch it.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
get up to
great.
three
Thank you,
accounts.
Google. So I'm
So
not
if
mad
you
at
have more than
Google.
3 accounts, it'll say too many people are watching.
The Google police just walked in.
Google
You better
police?
go. Yeah,
They're
they're right over
here.
there.
They're
Yeah.
Please
here.
don't raise my. Oh wait, they already did. Yeah, I'm at 300. I'm at.
Google car.
They did just raise subscriptions too, like $100 bucks. Anyways, I think I'm over $300 a month, and like I went back a couple of years, it was like $80. Now I'm at 300. Come on, man. From the great Randy Mouse. Come on, man. All right, we are looking at the coldest temperatures in the past 5 years, -19, and you got to go back to 2020. It's been almost 5 years here since we've been this cold. That was yesterday. Okay, so have we been too cold for snow? Well, that's an argument, and I just like to be as honest as I possibly can. I don't think there's a real truth to this. I think you can have more snow when it's warmer in general. You don't want to be too cold, so I would say slightly warmer winters have a better chance of picking up snow. But as of this, yeah, that would confirm it, but I don't like to do that necessarily in the middle of a winter. 9.8. 26.5 is our average. Way behind this. We're on pace to break that record for the driest winter. We're looking at snow, and we're 5 degrees off our average. 22.5 in Duluth. They're also down for 20 inches. So a couple spots over 20 inches down. St. Cloud's the only one doing okay. We are way warmer now. You'd like to get some snow when you warm up, right? But we are moisture starved because of all these snowstorms in the south. 20 degrees out there right now, 9 and 3 in International Falls. Again, we've got these west winds or southwest winds that are warm, but the northwest wind is right there knocking on the door, and you can see those wind chills already back below zero. Enjoy 20 degrees here right now. So we'll be in the upper 20s by the afternoon. Northwest winds kick in here at 15 miles per hour, and that does drop our temperatures overnight. We could see some flurries as we shift the winds. That's definitely going to be possible, but the cold air comes in tomorrow at 2, 11 tomorrow afternoon, 3, 22. So a couple of colder days and then warming into the weekend. Really nice weekend. And look at that 35 on Tuesday.
Well, there was some slowing headed into Minneapolis here on 394 eastbound just a few minutes ago because a car was blocking one of these lanes. That just cleared while John was talking. So as you're headed into Minneapolis, you should be okay, or even trying to head toward the Dunwoody Boulevard area. This is the only thing happening on 394 right now. I'll show you a bigger map look when I see you next.
On your way out the door, here's some news to go.
Yeah, Hockey Day Minnesota is here, and it all kicks off tonight at Valley Fair.
That's right. Organizers are expecting 15,000 visitors between today and Saturday. Of course, it's going to be outdoor hockey, live concerts, fun activities for everyone. Unfortunately, the Wild thing won't be running. That would be terrifying. And the wind chill factor is like a whole science.
People would do it.
Scary.
People would do it. The main gates open today at 2:30. The first teams to hit the ice are going to be JV girls from Shakopee and Brainerd. Puck drops at 3:30. This is perfect. Yesterday, not so much. Today is perfect.
Yeah, yesterday's bad. I think today is going to be great. Tomorrow is going to be also pretty solid. I love that all the most hardcore human beings all meet in one area. It's just like,
if you're not hardcore,
you're not
a bore.
hardcore.
Thank you.
Yeah, School of Rock.
Oh, okay.
It's 27. I had to dig deep for that one. 27 degrees today. Enjoy it. 11 on Thursday. Heading into the weekend, a great weekend. Honestly, I couldn't pick better temperatures for hockey outside because you don't want freezing. This is great. 20 is very enjoyable for everyone.
A lot of the crashes that I've been seeing around the metro are clearing. There's still some slowing on 394. I just told you about that crash that cleared, but there's still a lingering backup as you head into Minneapolis and a little bit on 494, but otherwise should be a pretty good commute.
All right, well, as we get closer to Super Bowl Sunday, fans of the Final Four teams are getting really excited about it. But there's one celebration going viral this morning for good reason. Take a look.
Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds! Let me hear you.
Woo, go Elxus.
Elxus. We gotta get Sesame Street in here and get some spelling
Where's
going.
Elmo?
I love this. That's Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker. She misspelled Eagles in that chant, saying E-L-G-S-C-S. She's joked about it though, saying, no one's perfect. Yeah.
Nobody's nerfect.
Nobody's nerfect. What is it?
Nobody's
nerfect. See?
nerfect.
Exactly.
that
The
Pig
Eagles
Latin? What are we doing?
face the Commanders at 2. Bills Chiefs at 5:30. So it's gonna be
excited.
fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good this weekend.
It's gonna be a good weekend of football. That game between the Chiefs and the Bills is gonna be great.
Both really good matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, NFC East, Washington Eagles.
Yeah.
Washington's been one of the worst teams ever. And
I'm hoping Washington Bills.
Washington Bills.
Washington Bills.
I'm over the Mahomes era.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what the NFL wants, but that's what we all want. What were you going to
Why?
say?
I wasn't going to say anything.
They want Taylor Swift there.
Oh, yeah, they want money.
Josh Allen engaged to what's her name?
Haley Steinfeld. Yeah. Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yes, to Jerry Seinfeld.
What is going on?
What's the deal with football? I know you want Taylor Swift all over the Super Bowl.
Yes, we still have 30 seconds.
Who was the halftime show again? Kendrick
Lamar.
Okay, we're excited about that.
And he's going to bring down Taylor Swift. They did Bad Blood together.
Bring
didn't
it
they?
down.
I did like
to
Bad
sing.
Blood, though.
Nothing
I
brings
did
it
like
down.
Bad
Do
Blood.
that.
But that would be a lot.
No.
That would be amazing.
We want
knows?
Josh Allen.
All
No
right,
more
stop,
Kelseys.
Enjoy Hockey Day, Minnesota. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.